So hello, good morning grade 10 students. For today, we are going to discuss and continue what we have discussed last week, which is all about contemporary Philippine music. So the last week, we have tackled the different classification and also the characteristic of a traditional Philippine music and its musical instruments, and also we defined on what is contemporary Philippine music, or in short, contemporary music. And also I give you some examples about under traditional Philippine music. So this time, let us continue what we have tackled last week, which is the contemporary Philippine music composers on the traditional music, the new music composers. So who are these? Actually, I just choose these major people or famous Philippine music composers in the traditional, the new music composers. Starting with Antonio Jesus Molina. So Antonio Jesus Molina was born on December 26, 1894 at Quiapo, Manila, and he died around January 29, 1980 at the age of 85. So what are his biography or background about Antonio Jesus Molina, and also his achievements under on the traditional music composers? So first, he was considered as a conductor. Next, he composed his first composition entitled Matinal in 1912. Another, he was also a concert soloist, composer, and conductor in Hanoi, Vietnam. Okay. Another, he taught harmony, composition, music history, and violoncello at the University of the Philippines Conservatory of Music. And he was the first Filipino composer who was invited to perform at the Malacanang. And also, Antonio Jesus Molina was considered as the national music artist in the Philippines also. Another achievement that was bragged about Antonio Jesus Molina was he led the first Philippine performance of Bach's Christmas Oratorio. Okay, Bach is a classical composer. Okay, and this was presented by both the Knox and the Central Church choirs in 1947 as the first performance of Mozart's opera at Giovanni. Another achievement that was made by Antonio Jesus Molina was remembered as the conductor of the first televised choral concert that featured the Centro Escolar University Conservatory Chorus here in the Philippines. And now, after his different background or achievement that he was made in the music industry, Antonio Jesus Molina was composed many songs also. Okay, so what are these songs that he was composed? So the different composition and work pieces made by Antonio Jesus Molina. So the first one, which is very famous, entitled Hating Gabi. So it was played using violin. Next, we have Malik Mata. Um, it was played in a piano. Then we have Ana Maria, Misa Antoniana, Ang Batingaw, Pandaguhan, Amihan na awit ni Maria, Larawan nitong Pilipinas. So these are some of the compositions or work pieces made by Antonio Jesus Molina. And you know what? He made not only one, two, or three compositions, but rather he made 500 compositions. So, you see, giunsa na niya nahimo niya ang 500 compositions. So right now, I want you to show an example of a composition made by Antonio Jesus Molina entitled Hating Gabi. So let's hear. Okay, so let's cut it there. So that was an example of a Hating Gabi composed by Antonio Jesus Molina. So right now, another traditional music composer under the contemporary Philippine music composers, who is also known as Alfredo Santos Buenaventura. So a while ago, we tackled about Antonio Jesus Molina. So right now, we have Alfredo Santos Buenaventura. He was born on October 14, 1929. Okay. And as you can see, wala mo'y nakit-an dira when he was died because actually at the present, he was still alive and still teaching actually. So, what are the different background or the achievement and also the biography of Alfredo Santos Buenaventura? So the first one is we have at an early age daw he became a member of a band that marched the town. So kanang every fiesta nga magnay banda nga magsunod sa arko, so he was a member of that. Another, he was one of the male sopranos of the Quezon City Temples de Santo Domingo. So when we say male sopranos, their voice are like just girls. So in an highest pitch of tenor. Next, we have also his first composition entitled Danza. So this is the first composition made and composed by Alfredo Santos Buenaventura entitled Danza. Next, he was an organist at the Manila Cathedral in 1960 and also won as Republic Cultural Heritage Awards not only for once but twice. Okay, so he won Republic Cultural Heritage Awards for twice. And also, Alfredo Santos Buenaventura considered as a conductor and as well as a music education teacher at the cent if I am not wrong, at the Centro Escolar University of the Philippines. So he was a music education teacher there. And some also of the music or composed music by Alfredo Santos Buenaventura was focuses on some epics, legends, local folk music, okay, and some of it also are focuses on the religious aspect also. Okay, so inana ang mga music na gihimo ni Alfredo Santos Buenaventura. Another also, because of those music that he composed, it were made for special occasions, such as the 16th centenary of Saint Augustine on the 400th year of the Augustinian Recollect Mass and the Philippine Music Festival also. And the last one of his achievement of Alfredo Santos Buenaventura is that his works have also been played or performed not only here in the Philippines but also internationally virtuoso. When we say virtuoso, big, grand. Okay, so grand event to the religious presentation also. So as you can see, not only Antonio Jesus Molina considered as the international famous composer, but also Alfredo Santos Buenaventura. So what are some compositions or work pieces made by Alfredo Santos Buenaventura? So these are some compositions and work pieces made by Alfredo Santos Buenaventura. The first one is we have Maria Makiling at 1961. The next is we have ang Ating Watawat on 1965. Then, Prinsesa Ordoha at 1969. Gomborza at 1981. Paskong Barangay at 1964. Diego Silang on 1966. And we have the very famous composed song made by Alfredo Santos Buenaventura is the Dakilang Lahi on 1971, which is being played during the People Power Revolution here in the Philippines. And then we have the Rizal, the Great Malayan Antagonist on 1990. So he composed only 57 compositions. Why? Because by that time, he was a teacher or music education teacher naman. So, wala na siya time to compose songs. Okay. But, he produced many compositors and arranger in the Philippine music industry. Okay, so 57 composition ra iyang nahimo, pero nakaproduce siya many compositors and arranger here in the Philippines. And you know what? Usa na diha si Nicanor Abelardo, George Canseco, Rodolfo Cornejo. These are some of the contemporary Philippine music composer. So usa na to ang iyahang mga estudyante. So di ba 57 compositions sa iyang nahimo, pero many na iyahang na-produce nga mga compositors and arranger. Okay, so let's hear an example of a composition that was made by Alfredo Santos Buenaventura entitled Ang Dakilang Lahi. So let's listen. Try to listen it carefully. Tell me if nakadungog na mo ni, right? Feel ako kung nakadungog na mo ni. Sometime it was being played on some of the activities or school activities.
Dakilang lahi, nasa iyong tangi, pag-ibig ko, inang bayan. Isinumpa ko, o Pilipino, gagaling ang sugat ng iyong nakaraan. Nang pahiran ko luha ng iyong puso ay natayo muli ang karangalan mo. O ang pag-ibig ko'y sa'yo, inang bayan.
Okay, so that was an example of a composed song made by Alfredo Santos Buenaventura. Okay, so this time another contemporary Philippine composer nga tong itakol. And this is my Lola Lucrecia Roses Casilag. So she was born at August 31, 1917, and she died early pa kayo, August 16, 2008. So kuha na kayo mga past years pa kaayon. So and on that age also he produced many compositors and uh, arranger also here in the Philippine music industry. So one of that is Ryan Cayabyab. So Ryan Cayabyab, usa sa nasa atong madiscuss karon. Okay, so what are the different biography or life achievements that was made by Lucrecia Rosas Casilag? So the first one is that she was known for being instrumental to the development of Philippine music and culture. So most of her composed songs kay walay lyrics kasagaran. So it doesn't have any lyrics at all, but it's only a plain instrumental, music only, or instruments only that is being played. Another, she was acknowledged for her having incorporated traditional music in her work. Especially, Lucrecia Roses Casilag also is a dance researcher in the Philippine folk dance. Okay, that's why she was acknowledged for adding or um, making incorporation of the different traditional music sa iyahang mga composed songs. Another, Kasilag founded the Bayanihan Folk Art Center, which is now called as Bayanihan Philippine Dance Company here in the Philippines. Okay, so another life brag achievement made by Lucrecia Rosas Casilag is that she earned her Bachelor of Arts in English at the Philippine Women's University and a degree in teaching at St. Scholastica's College. And later, after graduating on her bachelor, she went to the Eastman School of Music in Rochester, New York. And when Lucrecia Casilag came back here in the Philippines, he became a faculty member of the University of the Philippines Conservatory of Music. So pagbalik niya gikan sa iyang pagskwela sa New York, he became a faculty member of the University of the Philippines Conservatory of Music. And also, she became a dean of the Philippine Women's University where she graduated under to the College of Music and Fine Arts from 1953 to 1977. So, these are some of the composed songs made by Lola Lucrecia Casilag. Okay, so the first one is entitled April Morning. The second one is we have The Legend of Sarimanok. So it was a plain instrumental only, and it is one of her famous compositions. Next is we have The Elegy on Mount Pinatubo, Theme and Variation, which is based on the Filipino Fukchon Bisaya Walay Angay. Okay, then she composed also Dolarawan, I mean. Then Filiashana, and she composed also other Philippine folk dances songs, as I said a while ago, because Lola Lucrecia Casilag is one of the dance researcher here in the Philippines in terms of the Philippine folk dance. And Lola Lucrecia Casilag composed 250 compositions in other uh, products being a music education teacher. Okay, and let's hear a composed song made by Lola Lucrecia Casilag entitled, which is one of her famous compositions, Legend of Sarimanok. So let's listen. So as you have heard also, Lula Lokrishag's Legend of Sarimanok was accompanied by different traditional Philippine musical instruments. Okay, so as you can hear, so they use indigenous musical instruments here in the Philippines. So that was Legend of Sarimanok. At this time, the last contemporary Philippine music composer that we are going to discuss is the most famous also recently here in the Philippine music industry, and he is Ryan Cayabyab, or we called him as Mr. C. Okay, so as you can see, makita pa ninyo si si Mr. C or si Sir Ryan Cayabyab in the Philippine music industry right now. So, makita siya sa mga TV, became a music coach, okay, voice coach, in the Voice Kids or Voice, The Voice. So, Ryan Cayabyab, born on May 4, 1954, and still alive and kicking and producing many music or songs here in the Philippines. So, one of the life background or life achievements and biography of Ryan Cayabyab is that he graduated at the University of the Philippines College of Music with a bachelor's degree in music composition. So, he is one of the graduates or under of Lucrecia Casilag. Okay. Another, he taught music theory and composition in UP for nearly 2 decades or 20 years. So after he graduated, he was absorbed to the University of the Philippines and became a music education teacher also. Another, he excels as a composer of eclectic, modern, and popular music, not only here in the Philippines but also to the other countries or internationally. And because Ryan Cayabyab was very famous here in our Philippine music industry, he became known and famous in terms of television commercials or television specials. What else? Advertisements, music advertisements in the televisions, arranger and compositors or composers of some songs sing by famous Philippine singers. Okay, so that's why he became known and famous in the Philippine music industry. Another to be brag about Ryan Cayabyab or Mr. C is that he was awarded in 1978 as one of TOIM. TOIM is 10 Outstanding Young Men of the Philippines. Not only once, but many times that he was awarded as TOIM. Okay. Another, he emerged as the only Asian winner of the Onassis International Cultural Competition in Greece with his Mesa 2000. Okay. So, he's the only Asian winner of the Onassis International Cultural Competition among many countries competed here. Okay, with his entitled composition Misa 2000. Another, won countless awards from film, television, and recording industry here in the Philippines. So, actually, he composed many songs. Daghan na compose ng songs si Mr. C or Ryan Cayabyab. But right now, all we have to share and to tackle are the work pieces he made in the Philippine music industry. So, Mr. C or Ryan Cayabyab made a television special, as I said a while ago. Another is he made also major operas here in the Philippines. And he made theater musicals. He bring international Broadway theater play here in the Philippines also. Another, orchestral pieces, he made that one also. Then, a 10 full-length Filipino musicals. Okay. A choral pieces and film scores, popular and love songs. So madunggan gyapon ninyo karon and sang by those famous Philippine singers, and the last one made a group of singers, chorals and orchestra. Okay, so these are some of the work pieces made by Mr. C or Ryan Cayabyab. So let's hear a famous composition made by Mr. C, which is entitled Kumu Kuti Kuti Tap. So I know that you are familiar with it. So let's listen.
Kumukuti-kuti-tap, bumubusi-busilak, ganyan ang indak ng mga bumbilya. Kikindag-kindag, kukurap-kurap, pinaglalaroan ninyong mga mata. Kumukuti-kuti-tap, bumubusi-busilak, ganyan ang indak ng mga bumbilya. Kikindag-kindag, kukurap-kurap, pinaglalaroan ninyong mga mata. Iba't ibang palamuti ating isabit sa puno. Buhusan.
So actually, Kumukuti Kuti Tap was sing and performed by Philippine Madrigal singers conducted by one and only Mr. C, and also he was the compositor or composer of that song also. So those are the different some of the contemporary Philippine music composers. So actually there are a lot or many pa jud nga mga contemporary Philippine music. So who are these? So we have Nicanor Abelardo, George Canseco, Rosendo Santos, Jose M. Masida, Ramon Santos, Levi Celerio, Ramon Tapales, we have Hilarion Rubio, Jerry A. Dadap, Constancio de Guzman, Mike Velarde, and Hernani Cuenco. So these are some of the other contemporary Philippine music composers. So why? Nga wala na ko siya gi-appeal sa akong discussion. So you will know later why. Because and also we have a Rodolfo Cornejo. Sorry, wala ko nabantayan. Okay, so why I did not add them on my presentation or my discussion because of your activities and your performance tasks. So what are your activities and performance tasks? The first activity is that you're going to make composer's biography under to the contemporary Philippine music. So who are these? Who are not mentioned by me. Okay, so those composers that I mentioned a while ago, which I did not add on my PowerPoint presentation, those will be your activity to be made. So the instructions will be given after your mastery test na. So you will know what you are going to do. So it will be posted also in your Google Classroom. The second activity is that you are going to answer some reflective questions also. And on your performance task is that you are going to or we sing activity. So all these instructions and our activities and performance tasks will be posted in your Google Classroom. So actually it will be posted also after your mastery test para di mo maglibog, and today on this week you're going to focus only on your mastery test. So that's all for this morning, I think. But let me share this saying to you, which is music is all around. All we have to do is to embrace it. So even though music doesn't love us, bahala na. Mukanta gihapon ta, and we should love and embrace what is music. So music is all around. So that's all for this morning and today. I mean, thank you and God bless. Bye bye. Keep safe and love you.